You see, if I could tell something to my younger self, it would be to fix your diet, to stop eating so many chips and greasy food and drinking all of that Pepsi twists every day. Because you see, the food that you put into your body has such a crazy influence on you. It's crazy. And my views on eating and food has changed a lot in the last couple of years, and I realized the importance of what you put into your body. Because you see, you become what you eat. I mean, just think about it. All the cells in your body right now got their energy from the things that you ate before, from all those steaks and potatoes and chips and junk food and energy drinks, all of that. And you see, they're always constantly changing the cells in your body. They're all always being replaced, dying, and new cells are being reborn. So then, what do you think? Where do they get the stuff to be reborn again? Well, from the food that you eat. So that your body turns the food that you eat into the new cells in your body. So no wonder that if we eat shit food, we feel like shit. Because you see, the problem is not becoming fat and gaining weight. I mean, if that was the problem, you could just go on a calorie deficit the next day but that's not the problem, you see. The thing is that it affects almost everything. Not just how much fat you have on your belly, but also how you feel, your mental clarity, you see, whether or not you have brain fog, or your attention, your focus, and all sorts of health conditions and diseases could be fixed with diet. You see, no wonder we feel bad if we're putting things into our body that doesn't belong there. That are just filled with a bunch of sugar and all sorts of stuff. See, I think that this is one of the things that a lot of people just don't know how much of an influence it has on them. The things that they put into their body. You see, I see when I go out, I see so many young people. You see drinking energy drinks, like 3 of them in a day, and all sorts of things like that. Also sodas and junk food. And you see, I mean, I was one of them, to be honest. Like, I was also drinking a whole lot of sodas and eating a bunch of junk food and all the chips and everything. But you see, a lot of people don't understand this, and this is one of the reasons I'm making this video, to bring more awareness to this. Like, just how crazy an influence it has on you. And if you're eating unhealthy food right now, bunch of energy drinks, junk food, fast food, all sorts of that, like, trust me, the moment you start fixing your diet, you will regret not doing it faster. Now, if you don't have that much time and you just want some advice on diet, here are the things that has worked for me, a quick list. Only eat when you're hungry or like almost starving, and listen to your body. Another thing is fasting. I eat twice a day, and I have like a long period between two of my meals. Avoid sugar, junk food, all that shit food as much as you can, and respect and honor the food that you're eating. So basically, that's it. Now, I remember when I was younger, I loved chips. You see, I ate them a lot. You see, my favorite chips was one of these Pringles ones. You see, these long cans, and I'm not sure what was the name of it, but it was something like onion flavored, something like that. It was like somewhat onion, spicy onion flavors, and it was completely black, the can, and it had something like a flaming chili with some onions on it, or something like that. But man, that was amazing. But for some whatever reason, it just disappeared. Out of nowhere, I couldn't find it in stores anymore. But it was such a good flavor, man. I mean, they probably knew that if too many people find out about this, then they wouldn't want to eat anything else. So just wiped it out the face of the earth. Or I don't know, but it was so good. And the way I used to eat it is, you have that little plastic top on the Pringles bottles. And I would take that off, put it on my desk, and I would take the chips and break it into like 4 pieces and eat them piece by piece, because it was pretty hot. I mean, it was pretty spicy, you see. But man, that was so good. Whenever I put one of those chips in my mouth, like, it was as if I was transported to a whole nother dimension. It was truly, it was a mystical experience eating the chips. So it was a tragedy when it just disappeared out of nowhere. I mean, if I can find a picture of it, I'll put it up here. But I remember I tried to find another time a picture of it, and I couldn't even find a picture of that chips. Like, it just completely disappeared. Like, it never even existed before. I mean, if you have ate that chip before, please comment. Because I have asked some people and they didn't even heard about that chip. So if you have heard about it, please leave a comment and maybe you can find that chips together. But you see, I remember when I got back home from school and I mean, the first thing that I would do actually was do homework. And as a side note here, I'm actually super glad that my parents taught me this habit of doing the work first. You see, when you come home, do the homework and then eat all your chips and play video games and watch YouTube and all of that. You see, do your homework first and then do what you want. I'm actually very glad for that habit that they taught me. And you see, I did my homework and then after that, I would get some chips. You see, like one of these half-a-liter bottle of Pepsi Twist. I loved Pepsi Twist. Or I would just pour it into a bottle, into a glass if we had one of these larger bottles. And I would sit down, put something on YouTube. Mostly I would watch some kind of Minecraft videos. I used to watch Sunday a lot. I don't know if you know him. I used to watch him a lot. And man, it was good. And also I would watch these like scary videos, these spooky videos. I love, back then, I mean still I really like this horror and spooky things and scary things. I would watch these ghost huntings and these real life scary stories and all of that. I love like these like longer documentaries. I loved those videos also. And man, that was good. Sitting down and eating drinking that Pepsi Twist, watching something on YouTube. You see, when looking back at these moments, I mean, yes, I was doing a lot of unhealthy stuff, but still, I look back at it in a nostalgic way, in a very nostalgic way. It was really fun, you see, getting back from home, and especially, when winter time, it was cold outside, we get inside, get all cozy and everything, and get some kind of chips or something, and play video games. That was another thing that I would do. Play a bunch of video games with my friends. I used to play a lot, a whole lot of video games. I mean, there were even days where I just played video games, and that was all that I did in that day. But yet, when looking back, those are some very good memories. Like, I laughed a lot and had so much fun. Had all the time in the world back then. It was so much fun. See, we also had this like small store very close to us. And I would quickly go down there, grab some junk food, some chips and all of that, go quickly back up, get all comfy and play video games or watch something on YouTube. It was very, very good memories. And you can probably relate. I mean, a lot of people can relate, I think, to these kind of memories. They were good. And just as a side note here, I actually recommend you to do some of the things, just for like a little bit, some of the things that you really enjoyed as a kid. See, maybe like, one day you decide, okay, for 2 hours right now, or 1 hour, I'm gonna play a video game that I used to like really love back then, or watch some kind of old Minecraft videos that I used to really like enjoy back when I was younger. And you see, it will bring you a great feeling, it's nostalgic feeling, just as a side note. And now, of course, back then I was fat. I got fat because of all that junk food and everything that I was eating and the sodas that I was drinking. But I don't really actually remember how I felt, how much the food affected my feelings and all of that, but it probably affected it a lot, to be honest. But you see, now it's completely different. The story that I was telling you was about when I was like 14, 13. I mean, it was a long time. I used to eat a lot of chips for a lot of years, but now I'm 19 and things are completely different now. I mean, I eat twice a day basically, and it's very rare that I eat junk food. Very rare, and I just don't drink any sodas anymore. Like, I don't even get the desire to eat, drink sodas, because I know that it's just, there's a bunch of sugar in it, and I know that I will feel bad afterwards. So yeah, I don't drink sodas anymore, and I really look out for what I put into my body, and I also listen to my body. You see, how do I feel in my gut? How do I feel after I eat something? Before I eat something, like how do I feel about that food? Like, do I need that food? And I just want to eat it for the pleasure of it. And you see, as I said, I mostly eat about twice a day, sometimes not. But most of the time I eat twice a day. And I eat, well, what do I eat? I eat meat, sweet potatoes, I also eat eggs, love eggs, feta cheese, pepper, sometimes rice, couscous, what else? Oatmeal sometimes, fruits, some vegetables. I love onions. Onions, I love that. Basically, that's the most common thing that I eat most of the time. When I go to university, sometimes I also eat some sandwiches because that's the easy thing you see that I can just pack up and take there. Basically, that's it, I think. That's all what comes to mind right now. And now, these were probably the things that helped me the most to lose weight. You see, cutting out all that junk food, sodas, energy drinks, the bad food, and fasting, eating twice a day, having some time between my meals, and you're actually like feeling hungry. Because when was the last time that I was like actually hungry and you just wanted to eat something? I mean, just try it out. You see how better the food tastes when you're actually hungry. But now you see, I'm not that serious with my diet. I don't take it that seriously, too seriously. I do sometimes eat some kind of sweets or some fast food or pizza or drink something. Because you see, I mean, first of all, this is just the way I like it so far. And also, I think that if you take it too seriously and you say, no, I don't eat that, I don't eat that, if you're having too strict of a diet, I don't know how I put it into words, you become too stiff or life can get boring, let's say. You see, and also you see some moments like eating some ice cream with your girlfriend or drinking with an old friend of yours and having a great chat, goofing around with your old friend. You see, you miss out on all of these moments if you say, oh no, I don't drink, no sugar at all. And also you see, it's a reminder when I do these things that I'm going to die, that I'm mortal, and to not take life too seriously, that after all it's all just a big play. And also we have this notion, you see, that we do things that are good for us. You see, I go jogging, but it's so good for me, or I go play because it's good for me. So there's been a bunch of studies done that if you go play, play with the ball, and then you'll be much more effective in your work. But you see, at that point you're not playing because you got your eye on the future. And you see, it's good for us. But good for the what? To go on living. It's good to go on living. But go on living, why? You see, go on living to do what? Get more money or what? So you see, and I won't get into this. Well, I'm not going to be wrong about all the things I'm saying. See, I also do it in moderation, of course. Because everything taken to an excess, everything that you do too much, it will have the opposite effect. You see, if you try to chase pleasure, it will have the opposite effect. If you try to chase happiness, it will have the opposite effect. Too much of anything is bad, basically. So everything in moderation, that's such a good rule for life. So when I eat something that's not healthy for me, I eat it in small amounts, and I do it rarely. Now you see, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm not trying to preach here. I'm more like talking. But see, I'm not trying to talk you into some kind of diet or the way I eat. There are a whole bunch of videos like that on the internet already. I'm just sharing what works for me, the way I like to eat and all of that. And my mind might change tomorrow. I might completely change the way I eat in a month. You see, so don't take all of this too seriously. You see, you do what you want. And don't take for granted all of the things that you see online. Because I could very easily lie to you. You see, I could be completely addicted to junk food and drinking and all of that, and said all of these things to you. So don't believe everything that I'm saying. But you see, everyone has his own diet according to his own taste. Everyone lives his own lifestyle according to his own taste. We could argue about, this one is better than the other, but you see, we could make a good case for all of the lifestyles. So I will get into that right now. But I do think that it's important that if you want to respect yourself, respect your body, to not eat, and of course, if you want to feel better, to not eat shit food. Basically, that's it. To really watch out what you put into your body. Cut out all that sugar is, you see, if you take away one thing from this video, remember to lessen your sugar intake and cut out all that bullshit energy drinks and all of that. That doesn't even belong in the human body, to be honest. All that greasy, oiled up food and everything. If you take away one thing from this video, that should be because it has, yet again, you see, I said this a bunch of times, what you eat has a crazy influence. You see, you might be tired all the time because of the food, most likely because of the food that you're eating, or that brain fog because of the food that you're eating. You see, another thing that I wanted to talk about is our attitude towards eating and towards food. Because you see, I think that we should respect and honor our food because, see, there's no way of getting around of killing other beings into eating other beings. If you want to say like, we have to kill other beings. Even if you go full vegan, you're still killing living beings like potatoes, tomatoes, cabbages, and beans, and all sorts of stuff like that. They are also alive and they feel. I mean, I think that it has been also shown that plants are screaming, but we just can't hear it. And they are very sensitive also. I mean, there are some kind of trees in, I don't know where, but when an elephant goes there on a giraffe and starts eating off of it, it sends signals to other trees around him to produce some kind of poisonous things in his leaves. So when the animal gets there, it won't want to eat that leaf anymore because it tastes bad. So you see, they are very sensitive plants, and mushrooms and all of that, very sensitive. So you see, we cannot get around killing other things to survive. That's just the way that it is. So you see, at this point, so when we get here, the ethical thing that we could do, or the good thing that we could do, is to respect the food that we are eating, to cook it well, to, you see, honor it by cooking it like really well and enjoying it while we're eating it. This is why I think, you see, being a cook is such a responsible job. You see, being at the other end, giving the food, preparing the food. If you don't prepare it well, then we could say that, that, I don't know, pig died for vain. That you see, it died and it wasn't even cooked well. People didn't even enjoy it while it was being eaten. So this is why I think that being a cook is a responsible job, to not do a disservice to the animal, to the living beings that you're cooking, and also not to do a disservice to humanity. And I see another thing that I wanted to mention is how we rush through eating so that, you see, we could get somewhere. We even need to get somewhere. And you see, we look at eating just as a means to an end. You see, we look at the toilet as the output station, and the kitchen and the table as just the input, and that's it. You look at food and eating just as a necessary thing to go on living, and you see, to go on living and do what? To make more money or something like that. But you see, you can also look at it the other way around, that we're not eating to go on living, but we're living to go on eating. You see, just as correct as the other one. So you see, because of these, and also because I just really enjoy eating, whenever I'm eating, I just take it slowly. You see, I take my time, I savor the food, I look at it, I taste it with all my taste buds, and I'm present, all while eating that food, and it just savoring that bite. Now, of course, sometimes I do watch something on YouTube and eating, but I also do this, and I do recommend this actually. You see, just taking your time, being mindful when eating, being grateful for that food, and really tasting that food, all the little details in it. It's a great experience. So then, as a quick recap, only eat when you're hungry, listen to your body. I recommend fasting, avoid sugar and all that junk food as much as you can. Respect and honor the food that you're eating and be mindful. And of course, the other thing, don't take all of this too seriously. Don't think that you've got to be serious about all of this for 1 second. See? Now, this doesn't mean that you go crazy and do all sorts of weird stuff, but it's about being sincere. It's about being, you see, approaching life with your whole heart, giving it your whole being, and remember to be playful. So then thank you for being here. If you're interested, I'm doing free one-on-one calls. You can send me an email, we'll arrange a video call and we can have a chat. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed this video. You can leave a comment if you have any thoughts, questions, if you think I said something stupid in this video. So you can leave a comment if you want to. So thank you for watching and goodbye.